Welcome into MIAA Football Saturday. I'm Calvin Silvers.
And I'm Harry Loomis. It's been an exciting start to the 2021 MIAA football season with 5 games already in the books.
Let's take a look back at some of the best moments from Thursday night's game.
Out in Hays, Kansas, between Northwest and Fort Hays State, the first defensive possession for Northwest saw linebacker Sam Phillips meet Tigers running back Keelan Chapman in the end zone, rewarding the Bearcats 2 early points. Now to the second quarter, University of Indianapolis transfer Al McKellar tops off a drive that featured 13 straight runs to put the Bearcats on top, 8-0. The Tigers would strike next quarter, taking advantage of a miscommunication in the Bearcat secondary, as quarterback Chance Fuller connects with Adrian Soto with a 45-yard dime for a touchdown, now trailing 9-6. Up by 2, Northwest looked to put the nail in the coffin with Braden Wright finding a crossing Caden Davis to put the Bearcats up 15-7 and grab a season-opening win. For Northwest, Al McKellar had 28 carries, 161 yards, and 1 touchdown, with Braden Wright going 13 for 23 for 96 yards and 1 touchdown. For Fort Hays, Chance Fuller didn't have quite the night he wanted, going 16 for 41, but did have 265 passing yards and 1 touchdown.
Pitt State and Warrensburg to face the Mules. First quarter, and Gorilla quarterback Max Sexton finds Christian Carter wide open, 45-yard score, and just like that, it's 7-0. Mules can't quite match, but Chris Diddle's field goal gets him on the board. Next drive for the Gorillas, Mario Kirby Jr. gets the block, and Sexton finds him in the end zone for a 14-3 game. A minute later, after Kyle Bradley gets picked off, the next play, Sexton goes deep, and Elijah Harris is there with the catch and score to make it 21-3 for the visitors. The Mules look to stay in the game, 4th and 5. Look at this play, Bradley with a desperation toss, and it pays off in the end zone, 21-9, there's some life there. However, it was Pittsburgh State's day as Harris gets the pass and runs it in for his second score of the night. It's a 28-9 lead for the Gorillas. And then for good measure, Sexton put one in on himself, ran right and dives for the pylon. It's a 35-9 game. As a minute later, Bradley with a nice throw to Cameron Saunders to make it 35-16, but that was all she wrote. It's the Gorillas with their first win in Warrensburg since 2013.
In Edmond, Oklahoma, Stephon Brown makes the right decision on the read option, handing the ball off to Peyton Scott, who drags a Missouri Western defender into the end zone. Time to show some love to kickers, as Central Oklahoma's Alex Bravado lines up a 26-yard field goal, which sails through the uprights no problem, 10-0. Missouri Western, who had nothing working for them yet, almost had a disastrous play. Defensive lineman Zane Adams nearly brought Griffin's running back Brandon Hall to the ground, but Brandon Hall had other ideas as he reversed field for a 41-yard rushing touchdown, closing the gap 10-6. Central Oklahoma responded with a long rushing touchdown of their own, as Brown found a hole, turned on the Jets, and raced 45 yards to the end zone, pushing the lead back to 16-7. Brown decided to rest his legs on this play, as he avoids a downhill Griffin defender and slings a beautiful 42-yard bomb to Marquise King, with the Bronchos starting to pull away 23-7. But hold up, the Griffins weren't done yet. Running back Sean Butler Lawson Jr. takes the handoff and hurdles his own lineman into the end zone to close the gap to 24-13. Trying to keep the fire ignited, Griffin's freshman running back Bryson Cobbins takes the handoff to the left side and easily breaks the plane. A successful extra point put the Griffins behind by 4, but it wouldn't be enough as Central Oklahoma wins 24-20. For Central Oklahoma, Stephon Brown had quite the night, going 17 for 27, 189 passing yards, and 1 touchdown. He also had 14 carries for 126 yards and 1 touchdown. For Missouri Western, Sean Butler Lawson Jr. had 12 carries for 54 yards, and Cooper Burton had 7 receptions for 91 yards.
Washburn at Lincoln Thursday night. Ichabod's got to work early as a turnover on downs on Lincoln's first drive gave Washburn the ball inside the Tigers' 10-yard line. First down, they go with the run, and Taylon Peters finds the hole, punching it in from 2 yards out. Good start, but Washburn's not done, as on the very next drive, all they need is 5 plays to go 68 yards, capped off by Mitch Sherrick finding Jace Williams from 20 yards out to double up their lead, 14-0. Lincoln tried to stay in the game, as look at this play by Zamar Brake. Breaks left, takes a hit, but finds Christian Robinson deep for a 74-yard score. Washburn, however, just too much offensive firepower. It's Zach Willis' 1-yard touchdown that finished off a 5-play, 71-yard drive. Second quarter now, after an interception, Brake goes right and finds Winston Osmer to make it a 21-12 game. But for Lincoln, They can't make it any closer as Connor Searcy gets the Ichabod's third rushing touchdown of the half, making it 30-12. Later on in the half, it's Williams again, but this time in the air, as Schurig's pass finds him 4 yards out to make it a 37-point half for Washburn. It's a statement performance for Washburn as they went on to win 76-12. Schurig efficient, completing 16 out of 22 passes with a pair of touchdowns. Peters scored a second touchdown in a 75-yard effort. And how about James Letchers Jr. with 116 yards on just 5 receptions? For Lincoln, Brake with 9 receptions but also had 2 touchdowns. Jose Franklin with a heavy workload in the backfield, and Jalen Mosley with 9 tackles.
Out in Kearney, Nebraska, facing a 3rd and 7 in a scoreless matchup, Lopers quarterback T.J. Davis uses his speed to bounce outside and does a Superman dive into the end zone to give his team the first points of the game. Up 7-0 and facing a 4th and goal on the 1-yard line, Davis again decides to go with his legs, putting his head down and securing his second touchdown of the night, putting Kearney up 13-0. Moving ahead into the 4th quarter with Kearney leading 17-0, Davis hands the ball off to Montrez Jackson, who gets a nice block from his own line that gets shifty as he breaks the ankles of a Lions defender to find the end zone. Next possession, Davis wanted to continue piling onto his stat sheet as he takes the snap, waits patiently for his lead block, it spins and hops into the end zone to tally his 3rd and final rushing touchdown of the night. However, the Lopers weren't finished. With 1 minute and 57 seconds remaining, backup quarterback Jacob Green shows off his cannon of an arm as he connects with Michael Cook, who uses a spin move to put the Lions away. The Lopers come away with a 38-0 victory. T.J. Davis had 139 rushing yards, 160 passing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns for the Lopers, as Montrez Jackson also had 12 carries, 58 yards, and 1 touchdown. For the Lions, Nathan Glades had 18 carries for 63 yards, and Coleman Booker had 12 tackles.
5 games already in the record book, and here are the standings through Thursday night.
5 teams recorded a win on Thursday night and sit atop the MIAA, including Northwest Missouri State, Washburn, Pittsburgh State, Nebraska Kearney, and Central Oklahoma. On the flip side, 5 teams, Central Missouri, Fort Hays State, Lincoln, Missouri Southern, Missouri Western, suffered a season-opening loss and fall to the bottom half of the MIAA standings.
But 2 teams will face off today. It'll be Emporia State and Northeastern State.
We talked with both coaches ahead of today's Week 1 return.
We're here with Coach Garin Higgins of Emporia State ahead of his Saturday night matchup. So, Coach, thank you for joining us here today.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
So it's the first time we're seeing MIAA football in nearly 2 years. How's your team's preparation been just going into Week 1?
It's been great. I'm sure everybody's has been great. Everybody's ready to play football and so different where we're at right now compared to where we were last year. We've had a great week of preparation and excited about going and playing a game.
So obviously it's been so long in between games from the end of 2019 to the start of this year, 2021. There's really been a lot of uncertainty going into basically every day. You never really know what's going to happen. So for you as a coach, how important has it been to keep all your student athletes motivated, both on and off the field?
Well, it's been very important, and I attribute everything that they've went through. I got a great staff that kept the guys focused. I'm talking about last year, and tribute to the type of players that we have in our football program and how they were committed to the football program and accepted, not being able to play. Of course, everybody was disappointed, but at the same time, we try to take advantage of it. And we did some different things as far as how we practiced our players. Like last fall, we split them up where we had our younger players would practice and our older, we kept them separate. So we could really do some coaching and really concentrate on fundamentals and really concentrate on learning both, offensive and defensive schemes. And I think that paid off, and then we get into the spring and we actually were able to have 2 scrimmages. So that helped out, kind of broke it up a little bit, having 2 scrimmages in the spring. And then, once the summer got here, really, it went kind of really fast. And summer around here is typical the way it's been since I've been here, as far as guys here in the summer, the majority of our guys, being here and working out, and, doing throwing on their own and doing all those things. So, it's really funny that we're having this conversation because we didn't play last year, but really it also kind of seems like it didn't take very long for us to get to this point.
Right. So who have been some leaders that have really emerged in the long 2-year offseason, really, that it's been?
Well, I think I have to start with, our elected captains, our 6 captains. We have 3 on offense and 3 on defense. Xavier Kaysen, an offensive lineman, Xavier Kaysen, who, a tribute to him is, he gets elected captain, and he's actually not been an every down starter for us. His experience, he's going to be a good player for us, but he doesn't have much game experience. And Corey Thomas, another player who only played in 4 games in 2019 because of shoulder injury. And Dalton Cowan, he was elected captain, who was our starting quarterback going into 2019, who's had a position change. And the players, that tells you what they think of him by electing him captain. And defensive side of the ball, it starts with our leading tackler and first team all MIAA, Mike linebacker, and Jace McDown. And then our other 2 captains we have over on that side of the ball, Dawson Hamas. And our linebacker core is strong. We got a lot of guys coming back in that area. And then Jaden Poole, another player that was an all-conference player for us in 2019. So those guys they've been kind of the standouts as far as doing it on the field and also showing great leadership.
Right. So what should Emporia State fans be most excited for this upcoming season?
Well, first of all, we're playing football. There's the number one thing. But just in general, we always want our teams to go out and play the right way and play hard and play with a fast tempo offensively and mix that up a little bit and give relentless effort on defense. Play the game the right way, worry about the things that we can control and not worry about all the outside things that's going on during the course of a game, especially when you haven't played in a year. I worry about the mindset of our guys. Everybody in the country, everybody in our league is going to be ready to play their first game, so there's no speech. I'm going to go in there and get them ready to play. Heck, they hadn't played in so long, they're ready. Now you want to make sure they lock in and focus in and be self-disciplined and worry about the important things and things that, we can take care of, and just don't get, how much face paint you put on or whether you listen to whatever music, doesn't matter. Let's go out and play the game the right way. And I have confidence that our guys will.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate your time. It's going to be great to see some MIAA football again. Best of luck to you on Saturday.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
The first question for you then is, how has your team's preparation been heading into your week 1 matchup with Emporia State?
Well, I think when you look through the whole preseason camp, I think we've been able to make some strides in the right direction. Obviously, you want to work hard on trying to be a healthy football team and be able to get everybody the reps that they need. So I think that's a big piece of the equation that was good. And then I think the other side of it is just understanding the practice piece and what that really entails. We're a young program, and so a lot of times you don't have, a large majority of your football team that is an older group. And so we've had to really work hard on trying to get, some of the young guys to buy in and understand what those expectations are. And I think we've learned the importance of what practice entails, and obviously of trying to make sure that we're able to stack a good day on top of another good day on top of another good day. And so, that's always a challenge, but it's something I think we've improved on. I think it's an area that we've had a chance to focus on. And I hope it's something that shows that we've had an opportunity to improve, as a football team in those areas.
And you're talking about just getting the younger guys to really buy in and make a good day on top of a good day on top of a good day. Seeing that happen, who on your team, and it could be multiple people, and if it is, please tell me, but who on your team has emerged or stepped up as a leader so far this year?
Well, I think we've done a really good job collectively. We've had a really good group of captains that have done a great job in Madison Rather, who plays offensive tackle for us. Damani Carter plays defensive end. Mark Whelan plays receiver. Bryce Brown plays defensive back, and Tim Davis, our punter. And all 5 of them have done a great job of having a very business-like mentality at practice. About going out there and let's get the work done that we can get to be able to improve and find ways of getting better. And so I think that's been something that's been kind of contagious amongst the group. I mean, it's one thing when you have just a few guys trying to steer the ship, but when you got a large group of individuals that understand what the expectations are and has been communicated on how you want to get that done, I think those guys has done a great job as far as allowing us to continue to improve in those areas that are very important on the overall development of your football team.
Awesome. And then you're saying that you got this group of guys, and it's kind of leaking into everyone else with the leadership and all that. And having a group of guys is great. I guess when it comes to that group of guys, I guess what area, offense, defense, special teams, have you been impressed with during fall camp so far, and why is that area impressing you so far?
Well, I think the one thing that really stood out to me from our scrimmage we had on Saturday was the defense's play. I mean, they played fast. They were getting to the football, played with great effort. They had 3 turnovers. They had 3 sacks. I mean, did a really good job as far as being able to make sure that they're able to minimize the run. And so, I think that was something that really, really stood out as being a really good positive. I mean, you know how that is sometimes after 17 practices, it kind of gets monotonous because you're out there kind of doing the same thing against the same people on an everyday basis. But I thought they really showed up and did a great job of that area. I thought our special teams looked back better. I mean, I thought they did a nice job as far as, working hard and improving on the things they needed to get better at. I thought our punting looked much improved. I think our snap and our op time was a lot better. And I think our ability to kick the football was better. And so those are always good. And then offensively, we did a decent job. We've done a decent job as far as trying to be a balanced unit. We still got to continue to work on some pieces to be able to be the kind of offense that we want to be. But we've been able to find some ways through the fall camp piece of, trying to develop some balance amongst what we're trying to get done and finding ways of making sure that we're able to take care of the football and be a physical unit in the process.
Awesome. Sounds like you guys are improving pretty well and on all areas on the field, which is awesome. I guess as a coach, and this is my next question, I'm sure a lot of people are going to wonder this, especially with COVID last year. As a coach, how important or challenging was it to keep your student athletes motivated this long between games?
I think last year was kind of a unique scenario. I mean, whenever you're just going into a season, you think it's 11 game, and then it gets trimmed, and obviously you lose the whole thing. You had to try to find a way to make a positive out of it. And there were some teams in our conference that went and played some fall competitions, which I'm sure that was good for them. But it was good for us to be able to have the opportunity to stay motivated and get better internally. And so we really worked hard on getting 4 scrimmages in the fall against each other, being able to go out and have an opportunity to get bigger, faster, stronger in the weight room, and just have a year to grow. And I think for us, being a young program, that was critical to be able to get some guys from being true freshmen to redshirt freshmen, which, how that goes. I mean, the thing that we've got to continue to do is, like you just mentioned, we have found ways to improve against ourselves, but now when you got to go play someone else, you don't know what that team's made of or what that team, you get to see them one time. I mean, this is a very challenging league with a lot of great talent, a lot of great coaches. And so at the end of the day, I mean, it's good that you get to go against yourself, but you still got to go out and have a chance to compete against each other competition. And I think that's something that the spring allowed us to do, was to be able to go out. And I think we had 4 scrimmages with outside competition. And then obviously we had a inter squad as well. So, I think it was one of those things that, we felt like we were able to improve. At the end of the day, you ask what that question really means. I mean, do I think we're a better program? Yeah, I think we've made some headway. I think we're better in a lot of ways, but we still got to go out and block someone else and tackle someone else and compete against somebody else for 60 minutes. And learning how to do that is a critical stage. And obviously that's why you go play these games in the fall, to have those opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't, the difference between going against yourselves and going against another team is 2 totally different things, especially a scrimmage and a game that really matters. Totally different there too. So I'm sure it was a challenge. And then I guess just 1 or 2 more questions for you. What should Riverhawk fans be excited about coming into this season?
Well, I think to me, more than anything else, is hopefully that we're able to put a more competitive product on the football field in 2021. I mean, that's the one thing that when you go back and you look at where we've been, obviously going back to 2019 and obviously where we want to go. I mean, I hope that's something that the fans can look at and, see that we've got some retention that's been on our program, which has been good. Our numbers are up, which is good. But more than anything else, of just being able to go out there and play a 60-minute game and make it a competitive game. And so just like anything else, I mean, for 60 minutes, anything can happen in the game of football, but going out there and having, 3 phases with the special teams, the defense and the offense that can go out there and, block and tackle well, do a great job with their responsibilities and go out there and make it a 60-minute game. Heck, that goes a long ways in the process. So I hope that's the first thing. And secondly, I hope they're able to, we've worked hard on doing some things here at the stadium with some, some tailgating stuff that obviously adds a lot, to the game atmosphere itself. And we've been able to put some tents in the north end zone to add a little bit more to that from a corporate side. So we're just hoping to maybe create more of an atmosphere that goes along with our games as well. And I think that's something there's been a lot of people who have been working really hard on that for about 6 or 7 months. So hopefully that has a chance to show up as well. But we've got, some really good young men on our football team. The coaches work extremely hard, in all phases of the program. So obviously, I mean, we've been able to put a lot of time and energy to where we're at right now. And now it's time to go play someone else, which is exciting to be able to finally have that chance come Saturday at 6:00.
That's right. And as you said, the chance to play someone else, it's exciting. The atmosphere is going to be up and going. I guess now last question for you then. What can we expect against Emporia State? And what are you hoping to see from your team on Saturday?
Well, I mean, you go back and look at Coach Higgins and Emporia State Hornets. I mean, they're a very, very talented football team. I mean, they do a tremendous job on all 3 phases. I mean, their defense is all over the place as far as getting to the football. They tackle extremely well. They get off blocks well. They've got an all-American linebacker who can make every play on the football field. And I mean, they've got a lot of other guys back with him. I think they've got 7 starters back. So they're very talented on the defensive side. And then offensively, Gleason, the quarterback, his dad played here at NSU many years ago when I was a young kid running around the program. So to be able to see him come back to Tahlequah, and his mom played here as well in the basketball program, to be able to see him come back to Tahlequah is exciting. And, he's very talented. I mean, he's shifty, makes great decisions, and he does a really good job of taking care of the football and leading their offense. And they're really good up front as well. And then special teams, I mean, they've done a great job there also. They can really kick the ball, and they've got a big punter that can hit the ball a long ways as well. So they're a very quality program. I mean, they're super talented. Coach Higgins does a great job of recruiting and developing and getting those guys to buy into the Emporia State way. And so I think that's the thing for us is we've got to go out there and find a way to go out there and play against really good competition. We've got to go out there and find ways to make that big block that could maybe make something happen, or a big tackle, or maybe get a turnover along the way. And then we've got to understand the phases of the game. I mean, there's the ups and downs of a football game, at every level. And so we've got to make sure that, we are able to handle the highs and obviously deal with the lows as well, and try to find a way to have some, the opportunities to make some plays whenever we got to make the play. And so again, I mean, I know I've got a lot of respect for Emporia State. They do a great job, and they're a great football program. And we just hope we can go out there and find a way to be competitive for 60 minutes.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have, Coach. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to talk to me. I really appreciate it, and good luck Saturday.
And before we go, let's take a look at next week's schedule.
3 Thursday night games next week. Lincoln heads to Maryville to face Northwest. Central Missouri travels to Topeka to play Washburn. And the Griffins with their home opener against Fort Hays. 3 more on Saturday as Northeastern State goes to Missouri Southern. Emporia State hosts the Central Oklahoma Broncos. And Nebraska Kearney pays Pittsburgh State a visit with both teams 1-0.
Northeastern State hosting the Hornets coming up tonight at 6. And remember, you can catch all the action on the MIAA network.
Be sure to follow us on our social media platforms. I'm Harry Loomis.
And I'm Calvin Silvers.
See you next Saturday.